Hannah, stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Rajesh Pawar. He's, in fact, India Today's contributor, bringing us all those reports from those combat zones. Even he's in Kiev. Rajesh, I really hope you're doing okay. And thank you very much for really braving all those attacks and the sounds and the threat that's looming all around you, and yet bringing us factual information from that war-torn country. Now, Rajesh, we're looking at civilian establishments, including a theater in Mariupol that housed close to 1,000 people in that. They were hiding, trying to protect themselves from the onslaught of attacks. That has been bombarded. The casualties have not been confirmed yet. Give us an understanding of what's been the spirit of civilians there, even on day 22.
Look, I'll first go to this strike on the theater in Mariupol.
Right.
Ukrainian forces have claimed that Russian airstrikes have destroyed this theater, which was housing about 1,000 people who are forced to leave their houses and live there as a kind of shelter, kind of a place for these people who are displaced from their homes and nearby villages. But the Russian defense ministry spokesperson has denied this categorically. They said there have been no air attacks on any theater in Mariupol. So it's difficult to verify anything because our primarily sources are only Ukrainian and Western sources. So it's difficult to say what is true right now. Mariupol is a city under siege right now. Nobody can go there. No reporter is reporting from there as of now. Foreign reporter is reporting from there. And that is a city which has been cut off with electricity, water, gas, everything. And that is a really sorry state of affairs. And if this is true, this is a really humanitarian disaster which has happened there and should not have happened. Over to you.
You know, Rajesh, I did speak with a Ukrainian MP just a few minutes ago, and I did question him about Russian forces, whether or not they've encircled the capital city of Kiev. He refused those reports. He denied it, in fact, saying that that's not true. But why don't you give us a sense, where are those Russian forces? Are they close to Kiev? Have they encircled the capital city?
Look, Nabila, let me tell you, a lot of these Ukrainian MPs have been coming on Indian channels and giving their views. Let me tell you one thing for your viewers' clarification. These MPs here do not have the same kind of clout which MPs in India have. In fact, they are not even briefed about the war. They have no idea about what's happening around except what they see on TV and around their house. They're not briefed about the situation at all. They're not involved in the decision making like in India. So it's a very different scenario. Number two, they generally parrot the same line which the government of their country is parroting, irrespective of what the facts on ground are. Let me tell you, Kyiv is the Russian forces on the northwest are just 9 kilometers away from the boundary of Kyiv. Fighting has now subsided a little bit, which was going on for last 9 days, because 90% of that area, Irpin, is under Russian forces' control now, and moment it becomes 100%, moment that area is totally secured, then Russian army has a free hand, and they can launch a ground offensive on Kyiv anytime. However, on the northeast, which we thought the Russian forces advanced from that direction as well, from Brovary, that area is now not seeing any kind of fighting, and there probably Russian forces in that area have withdrawn a little bit and probably are regrouping and stocking up on their supplies so that if need be to launch an assault from that side, they are properly stocked up. As far as south and other west of Kyiv is concerned, there are no Russian forces that side as of now, and there were no airstrike in Kyiv city last night. Over to you, Nabila.
All right. You know, Rajesh, I'd really request you, if it is safe, for you to show us what's behind you and give us a sense of the environment in the capital city of Kiev. And while you're at it, also explain to us, where have the talks reached between the two countries? There seems to be a couple of scenarios that are unfolding, with a lot of reports suggesting that Ukraine finally could come to a compromise, may not insist on a NATO membership, and might just abide by Russia's demand for it to be for it to consider a neutral status. Is that true?
Okay, Nabila, if I'm showing you around, if you can see this.
We can see
I'm trying to show. These are heritage buildings. This is the center of Kyiv city. These are the buildings which were made in 1927. So this is the center, the showpiece of Ukraine, of Kyiv. The heritage buildings, the Independence Square, the center of the city. As far as talks between the two countries are concerned, see, it has been going on. There have been 4 rounds of talks. And after that, they decided that they will probably be meeting every day now through virtual meetings. So representatives of Russia and Ukraine have been meeting on a daily basis virtually. And when will the next round of physical talking, physical face-to-face talking is difficult to say, but they have drawn up some 15 points on which they are willing to talk and to discuss these issues. There has been a softening of stand with regards to NATO membership, Zelensky, but it is because West America and Western Europe has very categorically said that they cannot include Ukraine in NATO at the moment. So Ukraine had no choice but to say that they cannot join NATO anymore, but they are seeking guarantees from countries, Russia, America, China, and from Western Europe, that their sovereignty, their security will never be compromised in future. As far as the other contentious point is, Crimea and Donbass, there has been still no softening of stand from Ukraine, and that is very critical for Russia. And that is the reason this war started. So till the time Ukraine do not make some kind of concessions on Crimea and on the status of Donbass, I think these talks will remain stalled. Over to you, Nabila.
You know, while that's said, and while there is sense that Ukraine may just be coming down on their, or stepping down on their demands and their push, we're looking at simultaneous appeals coming in from President Zelensky to the Western countries, including the United States, asking for more ammunition, more support, and to step in to help them fight and stay strong during this dark hour. So we're a little confused as to where does Ukraine stand? Are they looking at support from the West while they are planning to compromise on their demands?
Look, Ukrainian president has been trying his best. He was addressing the American Congress 2 days back. He addressed the British Parliament. He is making appeals to all head of states of these Western countries, Western European and America. But what he wants, he's not getting that. He wanted airplanes, fighter aircrafts, and there was some indication from Poland that they might give MiG-29 aircraft to Ukraine, which was later, the proposal was shot down by Americans. They said, no, it is not possible. It's not feasible to give this MiG-29 to Ukraine. And second question is, even if they get these aircraft, from where will they operate? Almost all airfields in Ukraine today have been either put out of operation or are under occupation of Russian forces. So from where will these aircrafts will operate? Second thing is about Ukraine has been continuously demanding from everywhere. In fact, there are billboards in the city saying, we are not asking, we are begging you. Please close the space over Ukraine. They want a no-fly zone to be enforced over Ukrainian skies, and they have been begging this from everywhere, from Americans to Western European countries.
And we know that NATO has said that this raises fears that this could escalate, hostilities between the Western countries and Russia, which is a nuclear-armed country.
Very true. Absolutely. It is. They do not want to get involved directly in this fight, because enforcing a no-fly zone can also bring the Russian aircraft and the NATO aircraft face to face. They might even shoot at some Russian missiles or aircraft, which will mean a direct military confrontation with Russia, which West does not want at all.
Right.
But what they could do is, and which Ukraine probably wants, is they could put some very strong anti-aircraft defenses inside Ukraine, the way they have done it in Poland. Last week, America has put 2 new batteries of Patriot missiles in Poland to defend it against any kind of future attack on Poland by Russian forces. They could do the same to Ukraine, but they did not do it. And that is what Ukrainians understand now, that they are alone in this fight. They might keep going, requesting all these things. But what is critical for the defense, the West is not doing that, and they understand this now. Over to you.
We understand. Rajesh, thank you very much, and I request you to please stay safe. Rajesh joining us, giving us a perspective and an insight into what's running on the minds of Ukrainians right now, and of course the kind of the aggressive offensive coming in from the Russian side.